Hi everybody, this is Dee again, and this is going to be part 2, and it's not going to be long at all. It's just, again, it's a summary of the 10 heavens taken from the second book of Enoch. Okay, so this is part 2. So I stopped at the fourth heaven, okay, and continuing on to the fifth heaven. The fifth heaven contains giants of silence, sadness, and regret. A sad, solemn place of silence and gloom, filled with a countless number of gigantic human soldiers called the Grigori. I'm sure you've heard that before. I believe it was the Watchers who were called the Watchers were called the Grigori. Um, or I should say, Grigori is synonymous with the Watchers, uh, who chose Satan as their prince and rejected the Lord of Light, Jesus Christ. Um, their faces are withered, but they still remain capable of occasionally singing praises unto the Lord. This is confirmed in the second book of Enoch in chapter 18, verses 1 through 7. You can read that there. Like I mentioned in the part 1, you probably can get the .pdf file to read it online. The second book of Enoch. I read the first book of Enoch also. I have it in my stored in my on my drive, the first book of Enoch. So you can probably get the second book of Enoch and read about it on on your phone. So the sixth heaven now. The sixth heaven contains archangels of the arts and sciences, traditional home of 7 different groups of angels who both rule over the stars, keeping track of their motions, as well as overseeing and managing the various governments on earth. They also keep records of everyone's good or bad deeds and keep careful watch over Earth's natural systems of life and death. Other inhabitants include 6 phoenixes, 6 cherubim. I guess the American way of saying that is 6 cherubim, but in Hebrew I think you would say it cherubim, 6 seraphim, who with one voice sing songs so otherworldly they remain impossible to describe. So that's think about that for a minute or two. Other inhabitants include 6 phoenixes, 6 cherubim, 6 seraphim, who with one voice sing songs so otherworldly they remain impossible to describe. That's 2nd Enoch chapter 19 verses 1 through 3. Okay, we're on to the 7th heaven. The 7th heaven is powers of dominions of fire and light, an angelic realm of light and fire, filled with many different eternally loyal soldiers of the Lord. YHWH, including archangels, virtues, and virtues are forces, dominions, powers, powers are orders, and principalities, which is governments. Also present are the otherworldly cherubim, seraphim, thrones, and other celestial beings with many eyes, along with what the text calls 9 regiments and the Lonet stations of light. I've never heard of that before, but I'm going to investigate that. The Lonet stations of light. That's in 2nd Enoch chapter 20, verses 1 and 2, chapter 21, verses 3. Now we're on to the eighth realm of heaven. Summer and winter of drought and snow controls and changes the different seasons of the year, causing either drought or rain on earth. So that's what's going on in the 8th heaven. Also contains the 12 constellations. So I guess if you want to read more on that, that's 2nd Enoch chapter 21 verse 7. If you want to take a note of that or just wait for the transcripts to come out, it's probably easier to wait for the transcripts. In the 9th heaven, it is 12 secret mansions of the stars in the night, considered the celestial homes of the constellations which lie both above and behind the 12 groups of stars as seen in the circular night sky above the earth, called, see if I can pronounce this correctly, Kuchavim. So that's a Hebrew word. See if I can say it in Hebrew. Kukavim. Kukavim. If I'm wrong, please forgive me. Kuchavim in Hebrew. Kukavim. That's 2nd Enoch chapter 21, verse 8. And here we are. The 10th heaven is cherubim, seraphim, and the throne of thunder and lightning. This is interesting now. It says, seen as the highest of heavens, as the actual location of the Lord, Almighty God Yah's throne of judgment. That's what it says. Typically, this is where the Lord Abba Yah holds counsel with his angels and saints, making his decisions, handing down his judgments, and commanding his countless angels who surround him as they sing songs of praise and glory. So that all takes place in the 10th heaven. That's what it says. So I'm going to leave it at that. That's found in 2nd Enoch chapter 22, verses 1 through 10. It's somewhat debatable. I'm not an expert, so I cannot speak on the subject. I just think it's really fascinating. And if you yourself can do a more in-depth study on it. So there it is. Those are the 10 heavens. So I would encourage everybody to start reading this about the second heavens, the 10 heavens rather, in the second book of Enoch. So that wraps it up, and I just want to say have a blessed evening, everyone. And if you have any comments or questions or any prayer requests, I'll be most happy to help you out there with prayer requests. So everybody have a blessed night, and thank you very much.